Alright, so even though I didn't 100% predict that this banner was going to be coming out, look, I got really close in this video where I was like, you know what, maybe we will see them bring this banner back in some way. I'm kind of right, you know, I'm kind of cooking with this one. I was not 100% right, but I was almost there, so give me my props a little bit. But yeah, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about this banner and whether or not you should be summoning on this, because it's a surprise banner that's been coming in out of nowhere over here on the NA version of the game. But I actually had a different video planned for today, but then they dropped this out of nowhere, and I was like, well, as much as I want to do this discussion video that I had planned, let me go ahead and do this to make sure that everybody's at least informed on the banner, because surprise things like this might catch some people off guard, and they might be like, oh my goodness, do I summon on this banner? It's new. So my job is to keep you guys up to date, so I'm going to keep you guys up to date. But as per usual, if you want to stay up to date on both versions of the game, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that daily FGO content. Also, make sure you peep those links down in the description down below. Namely, there is my Twitch down there where I stream every weekday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I would love to see more of you guys coming on out there. But without further ado, let's talk about this banner. So this is split into a part 1 and part 1.5 banner. I already kind of took a look at these, and unfortunately, it didn't look like there's going to be a rotating rate up on this thing. It just looks like they're throwing this banner out there and this banner out there. I kind of get why they have Artoria Alter over here, because she was in Fuyuki. A lot of people were like, why is she not on the 1.5 banner? Because we have Shinjuku, where she's a major character in there, and it's like, well, they probably wanted to find a way to split Saber Alter and Musashi off of the same banner, because those are the two most popular servants that are on raid up right now. I know there's a lot of Gorgon enjoyers out there, and you know, I like myself a big Medusa myself, but you gotta admit that Saber Alter and Musashi being split on these other two banners, it was probably forcefully done, right? Because they don't want to make it easy where they're like, yeah, you could get Musashi as the 5-star or Saber Alter as the 4-star. They kind of wanted to diversify that value a little bit, but does that make the banners any worse? So we do have Miss Crane coming out very soon. We should be getting Grail live in April. There's been a lot of leaks because of the other FGO servers that have people believing that we're going to be getting like Lost Belt 6 in like late April. I'm not sure how much I buy that, just because there are other servers. I really want to kind of wait and feel it out, because I don't want to be like, Lost Belt 6 is coming in April. Like, I don't want to be like that guy that, you know, gets everybody up, you know, up in arms and everything and getting ready for it to come, and then it doesn't come. So I kind of want to wait till we get a little bit closer and we can kind of get a little bit more of a like soft confirmation that we are going to get it. But even outside of that, you have like Miss Crane is going to be coming back out. MHX Alter comes out alongside her as well. If you want any of the Knights of the Round Table, they'll also be coming out on raid up for the Camelot Grail front. That should be coming out very, very soon as well. And then obviously sometime after that, we should be seeing the Lost Belt 6 stuff start to kind of come into the game. And so if there's any of those servants that you want, then obviously this is an easy skip. But is it worth going for? I mean, Musashi's a very powerful servant. There's no denying that. I think if you're going for anybody and it's going to be Musashi, she is definitely the most worth character to go for. Because while I really do like Da Vinci, I think all of her skills are really, really strong. It's just the fact that she has an AoE arts NP with one hit on it. It just, like, it wouldn't matter as much if she was single target, because you don't care as much with looping as you do as like an AoE servant, right? Because you want to get that mass refund from everybody. You would still care. Like, there's servants like Galatea, for instance, that have like really high hits on their NP and could get decent refund back, right? Like, you could kind of expect like some of that stuff, but it's just the fact that as an AoE art servant, you would expect her to be able to kind of refund a bit back, and she's really not able to do that. It really just kind of hurts her fundamentally. But you can still get some value out of her. I don't think anybody's going to particularly go for her, though. And Saber Alter, you gotta kind of admit, is more of a trophy servant, if anything, right? Until they decide to go back and buff her and kind of give her the normal Saber treatment. She's not going to be like this extreme meta servant, but she's still fun to use because she does big damage. And sometimes that's all you need, right? Gorgon is decent, but not like this insane servant that you have to go summon for. Same thing for like Emiya Alter, especially if you've been playing for a long time. You probably have Chloe if you've been playing for like years on end and you got to play the rerun or the original event, to where he's not really even that needed. And Queen of Sheba, I just think is kind of a mid servant. And so it really comes down to Musashi, and a lot of people I know are going to summon on this banner specifically because Musashi's coming back. She's a limited servant. you know, she does have a lot of rate ups, but it feels like she's not out that often. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've summoned on every single banner that she's come out on, but I always feel like there's this infinite void of time between every time where she comes back. So I can understand people that are like me and really do like this character, maybe wanting to go for her. If you're asking me, like, should you summon for Musashi, I would just tell you to wait, because the Lost Belt 6 run to summer, to the anniversary, to the next summer event as well, because we get summer rerun before Lost Belt 6, or we at least should get it before, if they're going to follow the normal timeline. Again, we have like kind of those leaks, quote unquote, from the other servers that maybe it'll come out a bit earlier. I wouldn't put too much stock into that until we actually start seeing some more soft confirmation on that. And if we do get it in like late April, right, if they do just decide to release it early, then I'll eat my words for just not believing in, you know, the other servers and the leaks. But those servers tend to operate a little bit different than the NA version. So suffice to say, just because of like the schedule maybe even being a bit weird, I would try to hold your Saint Quartz a little bit. This feels like really obvious bait to me, but it's not like Musashi's a bad servant to summon on either, right? Like, I say it's bait, but it is really strong bait because she's a very strong servant and she's very popular. Like, if you don't have somebody that can take out alter egos or take out moon cancers, it may sound like a really niche thing that you're like, oh, I'll never need that. But then you fight one of these really strong bosses and you're like, wow, I really wish in this moment that I had a Musashi or like a Kama or someone along those lines that could actually deal with this servant. And then it's like one of those things that you really, really want at the time. But even outside of that, she does really good damage. And the one thing that I would say I kind of dislike about Musashi is the double hit only being one turn. Well, guess what? They fixed that on JP and they make it 3 turns, right? It just becomes really, really insane. Like, so this is even a servant you could invest in, right? You could summon her now, and then in the future when she gets her buff, she'll be even better, right? It's just one of those servants that's going to get more value as time goes on, and that's probably not going to be the last buff they give her because of how popular she is. They know if they continue to kind of keep her up to date, that people will still summon for her. She never falls off, she keeps her value on top of being an insanely good servant, right? So it's one of those things that if Musashi is one of your favorite servants, or if she's like a huge waifu servant for you, then I can't tell you to not summon, right? Because I believe that if you're playing with your favorite servants, you'll have more fun playing the game than if you were playing with all of the big meta servants, right? Sure, it'd be cool to do like 18 gabillion damage with like the Koyenskaya Oberon setup with Morgan or Arjuna Alter, but if you want to do it with, I don't know, Geronimo or something, I don't know why you'd be using Geronimo with Koyenskaya, but hey, if that's your prerogative, if you want to do that, just saying, like, if you want to use other servants that you like and you're having more fun, then at the end of the day, that's how I would recommend that you play the game. Do whatever's going to make you the most happy playing the game, but I'm also going to tell you what I think is a good way to spend your Saint Quartz, and I just kind of see these as more bait banners, right? Even when like Miss Crane stuff comes out in like the next couple of weeks for the Grail Live event, I'm probably going to say that she's really good, but not worth rolling for, because the Lost Belt 6 run of servants is just too good, right? You have Castoria coming back, you have Morgan coming out, you have Melusine coming out, you have Oberon coming out, you have Koyenskaya, then you have Summer 6 with just all of these insane servants that go on raid up, including, but not limited to, Avenger Kama and Okita Alter Summer. Just all of these really, really good meta-defining servants that are also very popular are going to be just coming out in this just like 2-month span of time, or like 2-3 months really, actually. I think it goes on a bit longer than that. And it's just going to be crazy, and I don't want anybody to be really sad that they can't summon on one of those banners that's going to come out because they decided to spend on the Saber Alter banner over here, right? Like, I would just recommend, if you really want someone like Saber Alter, wait for them to give us another SR ticket, because surely they're doing a lot of like random things. Maybe we could see them give us one like early, or maybe we could see JP get one, and then at the very least, you know, okay, there is an SR ticket coming, or try to get Saber Alter on one of the lucky bags. I believe she gets put on one of the lucky bags as like an SR servant, if I'm remembering correctly. And so just try to hit them on some of those banners, right? Banners that might be a little smarter to hit, while also not sacrificing how many Saint Quartz you have for this really insane time of the year that we have going on. I feel like a lot of the videos on this channel are now just like, I'm trying to have to tell people like, you gotta hold out. Trust me, when you're able to just let all those Saint Courts go loose. You're gonna be really happy that you're able to like walk with all these like broken servants, but it's hard because Musashi's a hard one for even me to resist summoning for, because I've tried to get her like 3 different times and I've gotten obliterated every single time. So believe you me, I'm right there with you guys. At least I have the Summer Musashi to talk about it, or just to walk away with as a consolation prize, but I still want the original one, right? It's still that burning loss of like 3 banners down. I'm like, I don't really want to go 0 for 4, but let me know if you guys summon on the banner anyway. You know, again, if it's got servants that you really like, if Da Vinci's like your favorite servant in the game, and you're like, I gotta go for Da Vinci, or I absolutely love Saber Altar, Heaven's Feel is the whole reason I'm even playing this game right now, then I can't really stop you. But I'd recommend to skip. But let me know what you decided to do in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video as per usual. Subscribe to the channel for more FGO content, and I will catch you guys with our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. Peace late, guys.